Are you tired of the traditional 9 to 5 grind? Are you looking for a side hustle that can turn into a lucrative full-time gig? Well, you're in the right place because in today's video, I'm going to show you 6 companies that will pay you between $250 and $500 a day being a medical courier independent contractor. The number 6 courier company on this list is CLX Delivery. CLX Courier Logistics Services is located in Minnesota. Some of the services they do are courier service, legal services, medical services, and warehouse services. As far as they are located in Minnesota, so they do work in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, and the upper Midwest. So they're not just in Minnesota, they're kind of throughout the Midwest. You'll find some actual openings around the Midwest area. Let's go to careers real quick. Let's see. Are you an experienced delivery driver looking for a competitive salary in a fast-paced, high-growth environment? Do you have flawless driving record? Obviously, most of these people are going to want good driving records. They're usually going to probably check between 3, 5, and 7 years on your MVR. They will do drug tests. Most of them, you're going to have commercial insurance. That's going to be running you in a car probably somewhere around $250 to $350 a month. If you're running a cargo van, you're going to be probably between $450 and upwards. So, and then a lot of these will do box trucks and stuff also. It looks like you can just hit apply now on this one. First name, middle name, last name, address, contact. Let's see, how much driving experience have you had? How many carriers have you worked for? How many accidents? And then, these are kind of standard questions that they're going to be running you. Listen, I want to say this right off the get-go. If you've never done this before, don't go out and buy a brand new vehicle where you got a payment. The best way to do is have an economic vehicle that gets good gas mileage, has low cost, and you outright own it. Yes, you're going to put some mileage, but when you're getting into the industry, the pay isn't going to be as good as, if you have a bunch of experience or you work your way up to better gigs. So I want you to think about that when you're getting into this. Do not go out and buy a vehicle or spend a bunch of money finding a vehicle to get into this business. You want to get into this business and then you want to find out the ins and outs and you want to network and work your way up the ladder. That courier company or independent courier company is called CLX Delivery, and it's clxdelivery.com. The number 5 courier company on this list is called Fair Logistics. Fair Logistics is located in Alabama, and it's fairlogisticsonline.com. They do a lot of medical delivery plus other types of courier work also. It doesn't really give you a complete list here on the website. As far as where they're located, they are in Huntsville, Alabama, but these are some of the cities and states that they cover. So a lot on the southeast and east coast, and then all the way over to Texas. So go check them out. They got lots of openings. As far as careers, you can either go on Indeed or you can come over to here and check out what exactly they have open. But I want you guys to keep in mind when you're looking at these types of businesses, they're always looking for people. They have a lot of turnover because people just aren't happy a lot of times. So sometimes just come over here and apply. If you see something that's in your state or your area, just apply. See what it happens when you come over and take a look at it. As far as, and don't keep in mind that the actual pay in a lot of these places is just a bunch of nonsense. They're always going to put stuff up here, but it's going to fluctuate. Depending on what they have available, what comes available, routes, things like that, on-demand work. So, keep that stuff in mind when you're looking for this. It says here they pay $21 an hour. I would take that with a grain of salt. Paid training If you already have, you might have to train on routes and things like that. But if you have experience, obviously you're not going to have to train long. Let's see, requirements, communication skills, detail, must be professional, blah, blah, blah. Reside in Charlotte, surrounding area. Clean driving record, reliable smartphone, high school education. Some facilities require the COVID-19 vaccine. Listen, different places require different things. Whatever people try and tell you online, here in Georgia, they don't require the COVID-19 vaccine. It just that's the reality of the situation. So they're going to do a background check. They're going to probably do a drug screening. They're going to do an MVR. That's what happens. Some of these places will want cargo vans. Some of them will want vans. Some of them will want SUVs. My suggestion is always the same thing. Start with your car. Find a gig with your car. Get in with a company that has lots of different routes so you can gradually move your way up. So that's again, one of the most important things. Don't go out spending a bunch of money, especially if you're just getting into this. So that's the number 5 on this list. Number 5 courier company. It's fairlogisticsonline.com. Go check them out. The number 4 courier company on this list is going to be Lab Logistics. Lab Logistics is a really good company. The website is lablogistics.com. And the one cool thing about Lab Logistics is they are all over the country. They focus heavily on medical courier work. Now, when it comes to courier work in general, when people say medical courier work, they're going to be talking about independent courier work and medical courier work. You're not always going to be doing just medical a lot of times in these situations because they have other stuff that they might need transported back and forth from labs and hospitals and doctors offices and places like that. So a lot of time you might do a little bit of everything when it comes to courier work. Lab Logistics is hiring all over the country. So this is my suggestion. Fill this out and then call this number or go on to Indeed, Simply Hire, different places and look to see if Lab Logistics is hiring in your area. If not, call them up anyways and say, do you have any availability? How often do you have availability in my area? So that would be a good way to check them out. Again, this is Lab Logistics. This is number 4 courier company on the list, and it's lablogistics.com. Go check them out. The third courier company on this list is going to be Now Courier. Now Courier is a courier company that is located in Indianapolis, Indiana. But the cool thing is they actually have locations all over and they do work in every single state. My state isn't listed on this website, but I do know they do work here. The website is nowcourier.com. Some of the services that they provide are actually e-commerce. They do medical courier work, automotive courier work, and I'm sure tons of other stuff. So they hire people with cars, SUVs, vans, and box trucks. Some of the locations they actually have are Maryville, South Bend, Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Evansville, and Indianapolis. But I do know they do work everywhere because they're doing it in Atlanta, Georgia here with me. Let's see, if you want to join our team, let's do contracted driver real quick over here. So here, again, I always say the same thing. Like I said on the last one, make sure if they're in your state or in your area and they're doing work that you know of, go check out their website, but also check out Simply Hired, check out Indeed, CV Driver, or a couple of places that you can go to check it out. They have route delivery. So it looks like they do some part-time work. So that might be good for some of you guys looking to get some extra jobs or a job at night maybe. I always say the same thing. They're going to all require, normally, not all of them are going to require commercial insurance, which is a good thing, but most of them do. I'd say 90% of them will require commercial insurance, which is going to up your insurance, so make sure it's going to be worth it. They're going to do background checks. They're going to do drug tests. They're going to run an MVR to make sure your driving record is good. I going through all these things. Let's see, minivan or larger. Most is route driving in Indiana. Commission up to $1,200 a week. Again, I take this stuff with a grain of salt, because you don't know what exactly they're going to do. Sometimes you can get more work. Sometimes it might be a little bit less. But one of the questions I would definitely ask them is if they have other routes available that might come up as you go along. So this is Now Couriers, and it's going to be nowcouriers.com. The number 2 courier company on this list is going to be USPac. If you guys have watched any of my videos, then you know I love USPac. USPac is always hiring and is absolutely all over the country. So the website is gouspac.com. One thing I'm going to say about USPac is while they're all over the country and I highly recommend them, there's going to be some negative reviews just like every other company. Nobody has a great experience at every company. It's just not possible. So in the courier business, most of the negative reviews are going to come from people who had, that are just unhappy. Maybe they had a bad experience. Maybe they have bad experiences everywhere. They do a little bit of everything from auto to e-commerce to medical. They have tons and tons of opportunities. Let's pop over here to contractor opportunities. So if you just scroll down, they got opportunities for days. Let's see. Driver, courier, USPac, Florida, Melbourne. Let's see, auto parts. This is auto parts. Routes are available from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. The routes run during the following business hours. Routes are round trip. Routes begin at 7 a.m. during the week, 7:30, 10. So they got a bunch of different times. They usually take roughly anywhere from, let's see, on average, they take about 9 hours complete during the week, 4 hours during the weekend, 128 miles. So just depend, it might be, they might have to do a loop, different routes have different things going on with them. Smartphone preferred, obviously, USPac is going to be the same thing. They're going to require the same thing. So USPac is a great company. I highly recommend them. They got tons of opportunities all over the country, and it's gouspac.com. Go check them out. The number 1 courier company on this list is going to be Express Errands Courier. Express Errands Courier has locations all over the country. The website is expresserrandsofjax.com. expresserrandsofjax.com. So they do a little bit of everything. Some of the industries, business services, healthcare, food, and retail locations. They got Jacksonville, North Carolina, Jacksonville, Florida, Wilmington, North Carolina, Atlanta, Phoenix, Austin, Texas, Chicago, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Birmingham. I do know they have some Phoenix, Arizona. So they have locations all over. Let's see the pickup and delivery. Let's go drive for us over here. Let's see kind of what they require. So this is what it looks like they're hiring right now. Again, I wouldn't take this. If you see them in your city, I would definitely hit them up because they're hiring for multiple things. Let's see, Alpharetta, Georgia medical route. So this is close to me. Let's see what they got going on. So we're hiring immediately 1099 contractors for routed medical delivery opportunities, cars or SUVs, Monday through Saturday. Besides having the best drivers in the industry, our company focuses on integrity, service satisfaction, customer service, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, about the routes Monday through Friday, 4:30, 6:30, and 6:45. I would imagine that's when they're starting. Saturday, 4:30, 4:45, 6:30. Pick up in Alpharetta and deliver throughout Metro Atlanta and return. Round trip, no deadhead miles. So it's probably just a circle. 250 to 500 plus miles daily. Stat work available in addition. So not only do they have routes available, they also have stat work. So sometimes that's something that you might be able to add on to what they're only doing. So if they're paying, $250 for a route, and then they have some stat work available during that stuff, during those routes, or maybe after, then you could add another $100 to $150 in to stat work, depending on what they need you for. Now, that doesn't mean you're still not going to be working the amount of hours. When you're doing courier work, the more hours you work, the more money you're going to make. So you got to take that into account. Clean background check, no felonies, pass drug screening, must commit to a set schedule, HIPAA certification, dependable with references, must have Friday to Saturday evenings available. So that's pretty standard stuff. That's errands, express errands, courier, express errands of jax.com, and you saw all their locations. So go check them out. If you guys are looking for a get-rich-quick business, being a medical courier independent contractor is definitely not the business for you. But if you're willing to work hard, there's lots of good opportunities out there where you can either make some extra money at night or on the weekends, or you can turn it into a full-time job. And for the most part, there's a lot of driving, but it's pretty easy. So if you guys found this content valuable, make sure and hit that subscribe button. Make sure and hit that notification bell. Smash that thumbs up button. If you have any comments or questions, please drop them in the comment section down below. Thank you for always hanging out. Thank you for subscribing. And go check out some of my other videos. You guys have an awesome, awesome day. Peace.